Good. Hare Krishna. We are all very fortunate to get time to listen to Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna Katha once again. So this devotee congregation is devoted to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So you can look at the screen and recite with me. Prabhu, you turned it like this? Huh? But you have to do it like this only. Okay, so we'll recite pranam mantras. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Ham Shri Guru Sheyut Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwani Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Mahabhadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaur Tushe Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Desha Tarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langaite Giram Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Guru Dina Tarinam Ramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tatsat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Bhagavatam and rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is practically destroyed, and loving service unto the glorious Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Hare Krishna. So we are all good. Is working in this mode? Check with Santosh Prabhu. He should not have a problem. So today we are going to study a beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, verse number 27. So, look at the screen and somebody can read it from there. We'll all follow you. So, who wants to read first? Other mic is there, Prabhu? Okay, Shantanu will read. Okay, you can read like that only. Okay, read loudly. Okay. Rajastama prakritayah samashila bhajanti vai pitribhuta prajeshaden Shiyashwarya Prajepsavaha. Now somebody wants to read loudly. Rajastama Prakritayah Samshila Bhajanti Vai Pitribhuta Prajeshadin Shiyashwarya Prajepsvaha. Someone else? Mataji's? Read Mataji. Rajastama Prakritayah Samashila Bhajanti Vai Pitribhuta Prajeshadin Shri Aishwarya Prajepsvaha. Anyone else? Rajastama Prakritayah Samshila Bhajanti Vai Pitribhuta Prajeshadin Shri Aishwarya Prajepsvaha. Okay, so somebody wants to read loudly the translation.
Those who are in the modes of passion and ignorance worship those in the same category, namely the
Forefathers, other living beings, and the demigods who are in charge of cosmic activities, for they are urged by desire to be materially benefited with women, wealth, power, and clothing. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Those who are in the modes of passion and ignorance worship those in the same category, namely the forefathers, other living beings, and the demigods who are in charge of cosmic activities, for they are urged by a desire to be materially benefited with women, wealth, power, and progeny. Rajaha means mode of passion. Tamaha means mode of ignorance. Prakrityaha means of that mentality or nature. Amashilaha means of the same category. Bhajanti, do worship. Vai, actually. Pitri, the forefathers. Bhuta, the other living beings. Prajesh Adin, controllers of the cosmic administration. That is the demigods. Shya, enrichment. Aishwarya, wealth and power. Praja, praja means progeny, family or children and grandchildren. Ipsvaha, so desiring, right? So those people who are in the mode of passion and ignorance, they worship entities which are in the same mode, passion and ignorance. So who are those? Forefathers, other people, or the demigods. So demigods are also in the mode of passion or ignorance? Yes, right? And why do they do so? Why do the people in mode of passion and ignorance worship entities which are in mode of passion and ignorance? Like begets like, right? So they need something, right? They have urge for something, they have lust for something, right? Which may be women, wealth, power, and progeny, right? So this is a discussion that is going on in response to the questions by the sages, right? So earlier, in the earlier verses, we saw that the sages are asking questions, and those answers are being discussed. Okay, so we'll look at that. So this is the purport to this verse. There is no need to worship demigods to whatsoever category if one is serious about going back to Godhead. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.2023, it is clearly stated that those who are mad after material enjoyment approach the different demigods for temporary benefits which are meant for men with poor fund of knowledge. We should never desire to increase the depth of material enjoyment. Material enjoyment should be accepted only up to the point of bare necessities of life and not more or less than that. To accept more material enjoyment means to bind oneself more and more to the miseries of material existence. More wealth, more women, and false aristocracy are some of the demands of the materially disposed man because he has no information of the benefit derived from Vishnu worship. By Vishnu worship, one can derive benefit in this life as well as in the life after death. Forgetting these principles, foolish people who are after more wealth, more wives, and more children worship various demigods. The aim of life is to end the miseries of life and not to increase them. For material enjoyment, there is no need to approach the demigods. The demigods are but servants of the Lord. As such, they are duty bound to supply necessities of life in the form of water, light, air, etc. One should work hard and worship the Supreme Lord by the fruits of one's hard labor for existence, and that should be the motto of life. One should be careful to execute occupational service with faith in God in a proper way, and that will lead one gradually on the progressive march back to Godhead. Lord Shri Krishna, when he was personally present at Brajdham, stopped the worship of the demigod Indra and advised the residents of Braja to worship by their business and to have faith in God. Worshipping the multi demigods for material gains is practically a perversity of religion. This sort of religious activity has been condemned in the very beginning of Bhagavatam as Katab Dharma. There is only one religion in the world to be followed by one and all, and that is Bhagavat Dharma, or the religion which teaches one to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead and no one else. So very beautiful purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. He is very well explained in this discussion going on about the modes of material nature. But as I said, what is this discussion going on about? It is about the questions by the sages. Okay? So who remembers all the 6 questions by the sages? At least one? Yes, Prabhu. Where will religion take shelter? Right? Then?
What is the real dharma? What is the real purpose of all human beings?
Okay. Any other question you remember?
What is the essence of the scriptures?
What is the essence of scriptures? Okay.
And why Lord Krishna took birth from Mother Devi?
Correct. And what leelas he performs. Right? Okay. So here are the 6 questions. Okay. We'll do an exercise today. We'll do memory exercise. Okay. So we'll not cover a lot of content, less content will be there, but we'll try to memorize. Okay, that is how we actually can focus. So Achyut Prabhuji had one house program some days back, and he did this exercise with us. He said, I'll read one verse and its translation, and then let's see how many points you remember. Okay, so this put so much of pressure on us, and we were focusing hard, we were able to memorize. So the problem with the reading or hearing is we tend to forget everything, right? And we are not able to focus also. Okay, so let's try to memorize these 6 questions. First one, what is the ultimate good for all people? Which Yogesh Prabhu was trying to say. Okay, second one is, what is the essence of religious scriptures by which the actual self becomes satisfied? Third one, why did the Lord take birth from Devaki? What acts or leelas does he perform? Fifth is, who are his avatars? And sixth is, where has Dharma gone now that Krishna has left the earth? So after times we will ask these 6 questions again. Okay? So let's see, children win or the elderlies win. Okay? But nobody will look at the phone that time. Okay? And diary also. No, that time we will close the diary. Okay? So, what is the ultimate good for all the people? What is the essence of religious scriptures by which the actual self becomes satisfied? Why did the Lord take birth from Devaki? What acts does he perform? Who are his avatars? And where has Dharma gone now that Krishna has left the earth? Okay? These are very, very important 6 questions. We will come to answers later, but to remember these 6 questions in the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam should be our quest as well. Those questions are also glorified later in Bhagavatam. Wow, what nice questions you have asked for the benefit of everybody, right? Because their answers will benefit everyone. Okay? So what is the ultimate good for all the people? Kids memorize, okay? Like in exams you memorize history, geography. Okay, what is the ultimate good for all the people? To become free from material entanglement and to develop love of God through devotional service. That is through service to Krishna or his incarnations. So that is the ultimate good for all people, which means helping your friends is not ultimate good for them. When they need a pencil, they have forgotten their book, or somebody is unwell, you become a doctor and cure them, do social work, give food to the poor. That is not the ultimate good for all the people. Then why is it written that to develop love for God through devotional service is the ultimate good for all people? Because it's mentioned in Shastras, of course, but what is our realization from it?
Because it's a temporary benefit that you gain out of other activities, but if you try to get into the devotional service of the Lord, that is the ultimate that you are aspiring for, to go back to God.
Why is it ultimate? Why the other things are not ultimate?
Because they are temporary and they need to be short in this lifetime only. While your devotional service will carry forward for your next lifetime.
Yeah, that is one important aspect, that it is temporary. Right? These benefits, otherwise the goods that we achieve are temporary. What other aspect? It is not free us from material entanglement. Whatever advancement we make in the material realm or help others make progress in the material realm, it is not the ultimate good for them or for us. So what is the ultimate good is to be free from material entanglement and develop love for God through bhakti, devotional service. Memorized? Okay. Next one. What is the essence of religious scriptures by which the actual self becomes satisfied. So what are the religious scriptures? Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. How many Vedas? 4. And how many Puranas? 18. Right? And amongst these, which Purana is the most important one? Purana number 18. Right? So after 17 were written, the author was frustrated. I have done a big literary work. Right? Like my boss asked me to make a PPT, I made 100 slides. Right? But you are frustrated. So who is going to present 100 slides to the client? Right? So you are frustrated. Boss is also saying, what? Go summarize it in 5, no? I can present that in 1 hour. So that is where Brahmaji said, okay, to Vyasadeva, no, don't worry. Create 18th one. That will not be your literary genius only, but it will actually benefit and it will be like, those 5 slides. Right? That is where the 18th Purana came. So, what is the essence of all these religious scriptures by which the actual self becomes satisfied? Okay, Sri Krishna and his service are the essential messages of the scriptures. Okay, so there are so many sections, Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, right? But of all the scriptures combined, what is the final essence? If there is something called elevator pitch. When you are in the lift with the client and clients want to say, what exactly are you going to give me? So there is no room for 5 slides also. So what is the elevator pitch? 1 line. Okay, of all the scriptures. Right? Sri Krishna and his service. Bhakti. Devotional service to him. That is the final word of all the scriptures. Right? Now if it is all 1 line, why so many Vedas and Puranas? Why Bhagavatam also will go on for 12 cantos. After this we are in the first canto, 2nd chapter, right? Just to understand this 1 line, it takes lifetimes. It takes libraries of scriptures just to understand this 1 line. So, story after story, katha after katha, this king, this happened, this is what Naradji said, this is what Lord Shiva said, this is what Lord himself said, this is what the devotees said, right? All these stories just so that this gets into our head. Why is it so difficult? Because our heart has become hard like a rock. But it's not so for these choosers. Okay? They believe all this. Okay? If you ask him what is the purpose of human life, he'll actually say this. And he'll actually believe it. Because they are in the impressionable age. Kacha ghada jisko kehte hain. Right? We are pakka ghada. So very difficult to modify. So many scriptures, library full of books, but the final word is, essence is Sri Krishna and bhakti to him. Okay, then he is the only true object of worship, and religion in its purest form means re-establishing one's lost relationship with him. That is the ultimate conclusion of all the scriptures. Even if some sacred texts reveal this truth in a covered or indirect way. So, although some texts will reveal this in a not so explicit way. Okay? Like somebody was telling me, telling stories to children. Bhagavatam stories to children. Story after story. They are taking story rasa. Right? Where is the truth revealed in them? So, sometimes not explicit. But it's sowing the seeds of that faith in the hearts of kids. The stories, right? Dhruva, they can relate to Dhruva, 5 years old. No? They can relate to him and see why he went to forest. And when he got what he wanted, how did he feel? He didn't feel so good. No? Why did I want something like this? I could have got this one. So, in their subconscious mind, they are building this. Next time, mummy is very happy, I'll not ask for chocolate. No, I'll ask for this. Okay, I'll ask for going to not Vaikuntha, ISKCON Bhakti Center, Kanamangala. Mummy will not take you to Vaikuntha. Okay, but mummy can bring you here. Okay, so although this ultimate conclusion is hidden in some of the texts, in some of the verses, but that still is the message that Krishna is only the true object of worship, and religion its purest form means re-establishing our lost relationship with Krishna. Right? This is the summary of all the Vedas. Got it? Memorized it? Second question's answer? Okay, third one. Why did Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appear as the divine son of Devaki? So what need was there for him to, be born in such difficult situation in the jail when his parents are in jail? Why did he take birth from Devaki? To reclaim those in the mode of pure goodness. The mode of goodness and mode of pure goodness are very, very different. Mode of goodness also is one of the entangling forces. Okay, it binds us. But mode of pure goodness, to reclaim those. So did not Krishna take birth to kill Kamsa? To save his parents? To kill Kamsa? He took birth to kill Kamsa, right? Then what was the bigger idea he had, bigger thing to do than killing Kamsa? To deliver the pious people. Kamsa he can kill just like that, his heart will stop. Right? So he doesn't need to take so much of effort. Right? To reclaim those in the mode of pure goodness, to reclaim his devotees. That is why Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna appeared as the divine son of Devaki. Okay? You'll remember? Next class we'll ask. Okay? Now also we'll ask in the end. Okay, fourth one. What are the acts or leelas of the Lord, especially in relation to creation? Okay? So long answer, but still you have to memorize whatever you can. Because the question refers specifically to the acts of creation, commentators cite 1.2.30 to 33 as the answer. There Bhagavatam explains how Vasudeva, Krishna, creates the material world and then enters into it as the expansions known as Purushavasaras. Okay? Cantos 3 to 4 are also detail the creation of the universe and explain how Krishna acts in the capacity of an ultimate creator, deputing Lord Brahma to bring forth countless worlds on Krishna's behalf. The inner reading of this question is that the acts of the Lord refer to his confidential pastimes in the spiritual world, alluding to information found mainly in the 10th canto. So basically, the answer to this question is not very short. Here, it's asking about leelas of the Lord in terms of creation. So there is a lot of chapters to read on this. Okay. Fifth one, who are Krishna's avatars? So where is it explained in canto? First canto itself. Okay. Chapter 3 of first canto describes incarnation of Lord Krishna. We learn that of the many manifestations and incarnation of the Lord Krishna is supreme. Verse 1.3.28 states, Iti emsha kalaha pumsa krishnastu bhagwan swayam. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of plenary portions of the Lord, but Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Okay, so in the same canto, as we move forward in chapter 3, we will read about various incarnations of the Lord. But from the answer to this question, what do we need to remember? That all Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all these incarnations that we'll read in the next chapters, in the chapter 3, they're either plenary portions of the Lord or plenary portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. Okay, but still Krishna remains the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the final questions. Where have the religious principles gone now that Krishna has disappeared from this planet? Where have they gone? Without reading. They have taken shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Here. Right? So when Krishna is not around us and when tears start flowing from our eyes in Viraha, I hope some of you are crying that way. So very few are able to do that. But at that time, we have to remember, now that we don't see Krishna, we are late by how many years? 5,000. Very, very, just missed. Sometimes you miss the flight by 1 minute, it pains so much, If you miss by 3 hours, you still can accept. Just by 5,000 years we have missed. So, when that pain we start feeling, When we realize we need to feel the pain in the first place, that time we should remember, now that Krishna is not around, so the religious principles have taken shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So how many children are reading Srimad Bhagavatam? Or the stories of Srimad Bhagavatam? Very good. And how many elders are reading Bhagavatam? Everybody. Very nice. So everybody should. Okay? At least a few pages every day. If you read a few pages, you will not stop. You will read even more pages. Okay? There is nothing more interesting than reading Bhagavatam. So to the what is the answer that Sud Goswami gives for this question? He says, by uttering one of the most famous verses in all Bhagavatam, he says, this Bhagavad Puran is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna for his abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Bhagavad Purana or Srimad Bhagavatam. So Vaishnava tradition teaches us the essence of spirituality can be found in Srimad Bhagavatam. As stated earlier, it is unlike other religious scriptures, since it focuses only on the essence of the spiritual pursuit and on the Supreme Personality of Godhead as He exists in the spiritual world. The Bhagavatam is Krishna in the literary form. So when we do book distribution, we should always remember this line. Bhagavatam is Krishna in the literary form, Shabdarup, right? So it is Krishna himself in the literary form. That is why we do worship. If we keep Bhagavatam in the altar, we have to offer Deepak to Bhagavatam. But that is not the only purpose of keeping Bhagavatam at home. Okay? What is the other purpose? To read it. Brilliant. Okay? So 6 questions. Now let's see who remembers the answers. So what is the ultimate good for all the people? Freedom from material entanglement and developing love of God through bhakti. Perfect. Prabhu remembers the perfect answer. Okay? Kids, 1 mark to elders and 0 is your score till now. Okay? Second question. What is the essence of religious scriptures?
To serve Lord Krishna.
Wow. By which the actual self becomes satisfied. Very nice. See? You already got 100% marks. But who can explain the full? What is the essence of religious scriptures by which? What is the essence of religious by which the actual self becomes satisfied?
Krishna should be the object of worship so that we can reconnect and the thing that we have forgotten.
Lost relationship with
Relationship with
Krishna.
reconnect.
So essence of all religion, the elevator pitch. When the client said in one line, you tell me what you are offering in this project. So what is that one line? I think we should have mic for the audience. The other mic is not working. Okay. Sri Krishna and his service are essential messages. Krishna and service to him. Okay. And he is the, yeah? So, he is the only true object of worship, and religion means re-establishing our lost relationship with Krishna. Okay. Third question, very short answer. Why did Lord Krishna take birth from Devaki? To establish Dharma. To reclaim people who are in the mode of pure goodness. Elders 2, children 1. Okay? Okay. So, what acts does Krishna, acts or Leela does God perform? Where can we hear, which canto does explain all the stories that you hear? 10th canto, correct. Okay? And who are his avatars and what is the essence of talking about his avatars? At the end of avatars, what do we read? And that all these avatars are what portions of the Lord? plenary portions of the Lord, or plenary portions of the plenary portions of the Lord, but Krishna is the ultimate supreme personality of Godhead. And the last one, where has Dharma gone now that Krishna has left the earth? Children, you were slow in this also, see? 3-1. Okay. So, elders win today, and the next class, let's see if children can beat them. Okay? So, you try more next time. Okay? So, please recite with me. Prakrite kriyamanani Gune karmani sarvasha Ahankara vimudatma Karta ahmiti manyate. So which child will read it loudly? You read? Okay, loudly. No, the translation.
The soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature.
Perfect. Okay. So the spirit soul is bewildered by the influence of what? Bewildered by? The competition is still going on.
Three modes of material nature.
No. He is bewildered by influence of? Read, no? False ego. So what is bewildering him? False ego. Because of that, he is thinking he is, for all the activities, he is the doer, karta. Okay? But actually, all these activities are carried out by modes of material nature. Okay? Which means everything that we do and we think we are the doer are actually being done by the. You remember that picture in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita with those 3 ladies pulling the strings? Right? What are those 3 ladies? Mode of?
Passion, ignorance, and
Goodness you remember in the end. Okay? Goodness, passion and ignorance. A lot of exams are going on. So mode of passion you will remember first. Okay? So actually these activities are being performed by 3 modes of material nature. Now, you'll see whenever we see these verses here, what is the difference in this slide and others? This slide and this, the way it looks.
I know.
What?
It starts with 3, goes 1.
Okay, very good. And before that, it says big chapter 14, the 3 modes of material nature. Okay? There is a chapter devoted to the 3 modes of material nature in Bhagavad Gita, entire chapter, and it's 14. So before 14, the modes of material nature are being discussed multiple times. Still, Lord decided that we need to discuss this more. What is more is, this is 14.1, where he says, Supreme Personality of Godhead said, again I shall declare to you the supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection. He did not say it in the beginning of chapter 12. Beginning of chapter 14, 14.1, he is saying the best of all knowledge. Chapter called 3 modes of material nature. So why this slide is shown like this? To see how important is this concept of 3 modes of material nature. Why it's being so much emphasized entire Bhagavad Gita till 18th chapter. These 3 modes, goodness, passion, ignorance, so many times they are coming. Why so? What is the reason? Tell me some reasons.
It's very important.
Yeah, why is it very important? And why does it need to be told again and again?
Because it's important.
Yeah. So even in Bhagavatam, it's emphasized again and again that Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva also is, not above, have not transcended above these modes. Why? Why it's being emphasized so much? Because it is very, very difficult to believe. Do you think all the activities you have done since morning were not done by you? They were being done by those 3 ladies? Do you think? It's very, very difficult. Any situation, in office, home, even in doing yagyas, people say, I will do yagyas, I will do sacrifices, right? I'll enjoy. Chapter 16, right? demoniac nature. So even in doing yagya, people think I am the doer. Forget about doing office work, right? Because it's very, very difficult. So how do we? So when we have to rationalize our lack of faith, what do? We try to think from an emotional mind, right? Like whole week I have eaten properly. Today let me अच्छे से प्रसादम ले लेते हैं, आज बहुत टेस्टी है, right? So I have been reading all week, working so hard. I deserve one Netflix session of 4 hours, binge watching, right? So we rationalize through our emotional mind. And when we read this verse, which one? This one. That it's Prakriti which is doing, Prakriti's modes which are doing everything, not we. We try to rationalize. Maybe it applies to other people. Maybe it applies sometimes, right? So, अपना दिल मना लेते हैं. That is why it is emphasized again and again. Whole chapter is dedicated to the modes of material nature, and Krishna himself is saying the best of all knowledge. So from today onwards, will you remember what is the best of all knowledge? Which chapter? 14. And which is about the name of chapter is? Three modes of material nature. If you understand this, if you make your mind, I'll transcend these 3 modes of material nature, you will be successful. Passing marks, इधर से ही आ जाएगा. Okay? You have a question, Prabhu?
When this says that we have to convince ourselves that we are not doing anything, the 3 modes are doing. So like if we do something wrong or if something happens, by this thing, we feel like, okay, I am not doing 3 modes are doing, why should I do it?
But don't tell this to your boss. Okay? So Prabhu is saying that if something goes wrong, I can still say, oh, the 3 ladies did that. Okay? So there is a deeper meaning. So he will have a meeting with 3 ladies of HR then. Okay? So he'll call another 3 ladies. Okay? So there is so to understand this, there is a long, lot of study we have to do. How we relate to it. Okay? So activities we have to do, like, say, act as if everything depends on you, and when the results come, say, then accept that everything depends on God. Man proposes, God disposes. Okay? So 2 acts are there. When you are going for book distribution, you try your best. Okay? Try your best. But in the end, when it's only 2 books distributed, don't say God. Of course, try to improve, but don't feel disheartened. Okay? Where it will apply the most, I'll tell you. 2 kids are committing suicide in Kota, small town of Kota, every month. Okay? So if they understand this, all the hard work that I did was mine, but the result is in the hands of God. They will not be unhappy. They will not commit suicide. After class 12th, there were my batchmates, all of us, we were used to write very, very emotional stories. Life's purpose is lost. We wanted to join army through NDA. So all of us who failed in NDA written exam, we used to write such diaries. Life ka purpose khatam ho gaya. Oh, we were disheartened. And now, to answer a question, now we thank Krishna so much. Oh, thank you God, we failed in that exam. Had we gone into NDA, it would have been very, very different life, which now we realize was not meant for us, was meant for people like Prabhuji, right? So, you see now that it's actually done by Krishna, or the modes of material nature, which are energies of Krishna, for our own good, because we have our own journey, we have our own nature which we don't know. Now we'll put kids in engineering and medical exams. Many of them will fail in the exams. Then they will be sad. But later then they will realize, I was not meant to be a doctor. Right? So that is how you interpret this. So act as if everything depends on you, and leave the results as if everything depends on God. Okay. Now there's one more important verse in the same chapter. Okay, which is very, very important on this topic. Okay, where Krishna says, the mode of goodness conditions one to happiness. Kids, mode of goodness conditions one to happiness. Okay, mode of passion conditions 1 to fruitive action. And ignorance while covering one's knowledge binds one to madness. There are three things, three modes are there. Okay, so you see, even all three are binding. Mode of goodness also is binding you, it's conditioning you to happiness. Like, think of some examples where people are getting bound by the mode of goodness. Who are those people? Scientists. Who are the most difficult people to preach to in the society? Which profession? More than rich also. More than scientists. Have you tried to preach to a doctor? Okay. You can't even explain your ailment properly. Huh? You will not let you speak. Forget about talking about Bhagavatam. So they are bound by the mode of goodness. Because everybody says doctor is the second God. They've got used to it, right? So someday cats were lions and they still believe it. Okay. Or if you come to Sandeep Vihar, there are some people who were commanding officers, they still think so. Right? So they are bound by the mode of goodness. They have done great deeds. But those greed, sometimes our biggest strength becomes our biggest enemy. So for them, those who are doing good job, social work, right? I am working for the poor, I run an NGO, right? I uplift the poor, give food to the poor people. It will bind me to that happiness, which will give me a false satisfaction. So what is the worst thing that can happen if you take particular medicine? If it's a wrong medicine, side effect. Okay, if you take a wrong medicine, side effects will happen. What is worst thing that can happen? Oh, that's too much. Before death. Condition might get worsened. Even worse than that. Condition gets better. If by taking wrong medicine, your condition becomes better, that is the worst thing that can happen to you. You'll keep on taking that medicine, and one certain 4 a.m. a long shank will be played. Right? So there are some senior devotees who have come to my village. So at 4 a.m. they blow that long shank. So whole village people are saying, who died? Because in my hometown, long shank means somebody died. Okay. Now they are trying to say, this is how we blow the shank. Now how will we do like that? Right? So that suddenly will happen. If the wrong medicine improves your condition, you will start believing, oh, this is the medicine. If it gets worsened, it's better. You will go back to the doctor. My headache is increasing, my fever is increasing. Right? But if your fever goes down, headache goes down, you will think, I found the ultimate aim of my life. Right? So the three modes bind you. Mode of goodness binds you to happiness. Mode of passion binds you to fruitive actions. How? You will become such a hard worker. Workaholics, you have in office workaholics. They never look at what is AI, Gen AI. Why? You know why? They are working so hard, that in enough is itself to justify their salary. Why should they read Gen AI? Right? So their hard work becomes a justification in their head. I am doing enough. Okay? They are bound to the fruitive action. Hard work, passionate work. And ignorance binds one to madness or foolishness or illusion. Okay? Three things you remember. Let's see who gets the points, elders or kids. Okay? Now, going back to 7th chapter, where Krishna said, those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own nature. So this question is being asked many times these days when we are approaching new people for book distribution. Hey, I have heard you ISKCON guys, you have in Vrindavan they call ISKCON as Angrezon ka mandir. Okay, Angrezon ka mandir hai. You people call Shiva demigod and you prohibit worship of demigods. on the road in front of so many people, they're asking you this question. Now, I don't have time to give references to verses, right? So, what do we say? So, Krishna is never saying, or Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam is not saying that, it's against the religious principles. Okay? They are not condemning it in a way that, if you worship Lord Shiva, you are condemned. Nobody is saying that. But Krishna is saying, those are the people who are surrendering to demigods whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires or whatever. Whose intelligence has been stolen, they are doing something. Should you do that? No, because your intelligence has not been stolen by material desires, right? Okay, now we come back to our original verse. Okay? Rajas tamaha prakrityaha samshila bhajati vai pitribhuta prajeshadin she ashwarya prajepsvaha. Okay? She means beauty and ashwarya means opulence. Okay? So who are the people who are chasing beauty, opulence, wealth? Who are the people? They are in the mode of passion and ignorance. So that is the essence of this verse. Okay? Now there is a very nice lecture on this particular verse by Srila Prabhupada. Okay? So he is addressing this topic of why people in mode of passion and ignorance are chasing beauty, wealth, opulence. Why they are chasing? He is saying the main reason for this is, okay, let's see. Think deeper. Okay? What is the root cause of people chasing these things? Sense gratification. Okay, that is the surface level. Okay? Sense. Below that. Why? Happiness. Okay. But not the ultimate happiness. Temporary happiness. Right? So why would you do that? Why would you go to some lord and say, give me wealth, give me a good house? Association matters. Okay. That is what is pushing us to this. After we got into Om Jai Jagdish Hare, Bhakti Janao ke sankat pal mein dur kare. Okay. And it also says, Sukh Sampatti ghar aave, Kasht mite tan ka. Right? Actually, this arti is good. Okay. It's after Om Jai Jagdish Hare, but it tries to relate to the general public. It tries to relate to general public more and more. Because what people want? Sukh Sampatti ghar aave, Kasht mite tan ka. That is where things go a bit wrong. Okay. So, yeah, so coming back to this. Why people in the mode of passion and ignorance go to demigods? I want this, I want that. Okay, I'll give you a hint. Why did Dhruva go to the jungle to worship?
Because he wanted a kingdom.
He wanted a bigger kingdom than Brahma. Why? False ego. No, but what had happened immediately then?
Because his mother.
What was the immediate reason that he went? What had happened? His father discriminated between him and his other stepson, right? And his mother, he went crying to his mother, right? So he went to the forest to worship the Lord. And that is the desire he carried in his heart. Okay? And in the end, when he had Lord in front of him, what did he think about that desire that he came with? He felt happy about it? Broken glass piece is very good. See, kids are listening to kathas very nicely. So I could get a diamond and I had a desire for broken pieces of glass. And he is not saying, Lord, give me the kingdom. When Lord came, he thought, oh, I don't. He was not able to say anything only. But God knew what was the desire in his heart. So be very careful not only about what we ask God in front of the deity, that we should not ask anyways. We should be very careful about what you desire, because your desires will be known to God and they will put you back into the material world. So if you keep any desire hidden in your heart, it's not about asking, I want chocolate only for lunch every day. Then if you ask, then you'll get what?
I always get,
You'll get something, some other chocolate from mommy, right?
I always get pencils for lunch. I never get.
You never got, no? Very good. So because you are the son of devotees. So forget about asking for chocolate every lunch in the lunch box. Having that desire itself, and then Lord said, no, you will have to have a big kingdom, and now you'll have to go and rule it also for thousands of years, because you have this desire. Right? So, what is the reason that people have such desires? Dhruva was, Avinav Gauranga Prabhu said, he was envious of his
Stepmother.
father. Right? Although his father mistreated him, but he was envious. Right? And in the very reason, why would he ask for biggest kingdom, bigger than Brahma? Who was he jealous of? Whose kingdom? Father's kingdom. Right? So, he got jealous of his father's kingdom. So, he wanted bigger than Brahma. Who are these people who are asking for opulence, beauty, beautiful women, house? Who are they envious of? Who has got highest opulence, wealth and beauty? They are envious of Krishna. This is what Prabhupada says in this lecture. Okay? The very essence of, and he drives toward this line slowly. It's a very powerful class. When you have to give the class, that Prabhupada's class feels different, it hits you different. Because you have to listen very, very carefully. If you listen the gradual build up to this line, Prabhupada is taking us through three modes. He's saying who are the people in these three modes. Brahmanas are in the mode of goodness, Kshatriyas are in the mode of passion, and Shudras are in the mode of ignorance. And what are their qualities? He's taking us from there, and then he says, why this Rajas Tamaha people, why are they chasing this Shri Aishwarya, beauty and Aishwarya? Because they want to imitate Krishna. They want to imitate Ras Leela. They want to imitate all those palaces. Right? Thousands of wives. That very desire, a fraction of that desire is what is making them go to demigods asking for all this. Otherwise, what would they do? Surrender to Krishna. This sloka applies, or this particular point, being envious to Krishna and going to demigods applies especially to devotees. Because even after coming to Krishna consciousness, if you are going to demigods, in legal terms there is something called ignorance of fact and ignorance of law. Okay? So, if somebody is, there was a very famous case that somebody is breaking those bolts of the railway line and he was arrested. So he said, I don't know that, taking all these bolts will derail the train. Okay? And there was another guy who was arrested for this. He said, I know the train will be derailed, but I did not know that it's illegal and I can be arrested for it. Right? Do you think any of these two will be spared the punishment? But do you think the punishment will be different? Yes. First person didn't even know that. He thought, I'll sell iron in kgs. Right? I'll feed my kids. He didn't know that it will derail the train. Totally illiterate and totally dumb person. His punishment will be less. Yes, Prabhu?
Ignorance of law is much.
Yeah. Other person is saying, I know the train will be derailed, but I didn't know you will come and arrest me. Right? It's illegal. Right? There are a lot of cases coming in London where people are saying, I did not know that, raping a woman is illegal in London. In my country, it's okay. Yeah, there are actually cases happening like that. They're immigrants, they are entering UK and then they're saying like that. Minor kids. We picked up minor kid, we raped and all that. I didn't know it's illegal. So, all you people, especially today in this class, now you know what is the law. You cannot say, I did not know the law. So there is a third category. People who don't know that taking out the bolts will derail the train. Second, who don't know that derailing the train is illegal. Third category, who know it will derail the train, who know it's illegal, who are lawyers. Lawyers taking out the bolts from the railway line. You people, you know the laws also now. Because all of you have been the students of Bhagavad Gita. And today in this class you are specifically being told that now you know the law. After this also, if you say, I did not know that it's illegal to derail the train, that excuse will also not work. So 1, 2, 3 levels you will get the highest level of punishment if you get envious of Krishna and go to demigods asking for Putra Prapti, Dhan Prapti, Shri Prapti, Aishwarya Prapti. Okay? But you can't help it. You came to the class, you heard it now. Okay? You can't deny it in front of Yamraj. No, I was sleeping. Because we had exercise of memorizing today. So that woke you up. Okay? And he's got his recording on. So he's saying everybody's awake. You heard it today. From today onward, if you go to demigods, you will be considered envious of. Everybody agrees? If other people do it, they will be excused. Because ignorance of fact, ignorance of law, they will be getting less punishment. What will be that punishment? They will fall down to lower species. But what is the worst thing that can happen to devotees? Okay, right? So Krishna says, even little progress in this path can save you from the biggest fear. The biggest fear is coming back again. Why so, Prabhu?
Because again I have to go through that more bracket.
Correct.
And what is the guarantee that in my next life I will be remembering everything and I will be getting a good body so that I can practice the bhakti properly.
Right. So there is no guarantee. What I'll be born in the next life as elephant, lizard, dog, right? But bigger fear than becoming an elephant or lizard or dog is even being human but forgetting Krishna, right? So today, without dying and being born as dog also, today itself you can lose. Suppose you meet an accident and your memory gone, right? Your body is perfect. You can still drive again, but internal injury to the head was there. So still you lost everything because all that devotees have is smriti, right? That the smriti is gone, everything is gone, right? So we should try not to take birth again in this planet because the biggest fear is we might lose the memory of Krishna, right? So don't worry about being born poor, being born to the lady who is in the sun, she is having that small baby at the traffic signal asking for money. Who is more unlucky than that kid? Of course, four-legged species, trees, but even humans, they're all equally unlucky, right? They're all equally unlucky. If there is an earthquake, everybody's house is collapsed. Everybody is equally unlucky. One who had palace also, one who had hut also, because everybody is homeless now. So the very fact of being born in this earth again comes with the risk that we might forget Krishna, right?
Somewhere in Bhagavad Gita there is a verse, like if you have done not enough bhakti, but it's like 50-75% in the next life, you will be again given chance. So like there is no.
You'll again be given a chance.
Given chance to continue it.
Continue it.
This statement is contradicting.
Everybody here is going back to Godhead. Okay, that is the guarantee given not by me, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, but he did not say when. That is the catch. right? So all those who have chanted Krishna's name will be going back to Godhead. This is not for no reason that you are here. Okay? It's a very, very huge mercy from the Lord is there that you are here and you are chanting. But how quickly you will go there is not specified. So that is right, Prabhu. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that you will get more and more and more chances. But do you want to take those chances? In IAS you get 7-8 chances. But do you want to keep it to the next chance? इस साल प्रिलिमिनरी कर लेते हैं, नेक्स्ट टाइम मेंस करेंगे, उसके बाद इंटरव्यू करेंगे. नो, राइट? So why take a chance? So that is true. Krishna will give another chance, right? But Prabhupada also says that most of the people in ISKCON who are serious or semi-serious, they will land up in heaven. वो बीच में अटक गए, right? So better be born here again and suffer, right? Than get stuck in the heavenly planets. Because what will happen if you go to heavenly planets with Indra? All the desires that you are hiding, every lunch chocolate, you'll get there. Okay? But one day those credits will be over. And then you will come. And that time it will be very tough. The situation we are seeing in Bangladesh is just a small sample of what is going to come in the Kali Yuga ahead. Right? Imagine coming down 1,000 years later. Okay, where man will be eating man. So, better come quickly. Okay, and finish this business. So, even if you come to proper devotional platform, it will take at least 3 lifetimes for us. Okay, we become proper brahmachari and proper devotee. It will take at least three lifetimes for us. Right? So, let those times start as early as possible. So, more you see these things like Bangladesh, more we should tell our kids that, or tell ourselves that try to minimize this time of leaving this cycle of birth and death, because more the times is more the time is elapsed in this Kali Yuga, worse the things will become. Okay, so I think we are done. We took a lot of time because we were doing memory exercises. 0250 car. Just maybe it's obstructing the tanker. Okay, kids, don't go now. The quiz time. Oh, firstly, any questions? Quickly, or through the quiz also, if you have any questions, you can ask. We'll finish it quickly. We have only 15 minutes left, or I think we are already overshot. These questions we revised very well. Answers also we revised. Okay, the 6 questions by sages, we should memorize these things. So there are the prayers, like Brahma Samhita, right? Or the names, the holy name. We should memorize it so much and test our memory. Okay? We are half asleep, okay? We are about to fall asleep. Let's test our memory. Do I remember that prayer? Do I remember Hare Krishna Mahamantra also? Because in the end, when we'll be approaching death, our mental capacities will go down. Okay? Right? So, it should be so, nicely memorized. Same are these 6 questions. If we memorize these 6 questions and answers, they will become our, like Gajendra. Gajendra was able to remember how to pray to the Lord even while being the elephant. See, ऐसे भी बोलता है ना कि एलिफेंट का मेमोरी बहुत तेज है. वो छोटे एलिफेंट को हिट करोगे तो बड़ा होकर के वो he'll hit you. They say like that. But Gajendra was next level, no? So you should memorize things like Gajendra. Same are these 6 questions by the sages. Okay? So, prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankar vimudhatma kartamiti manyate. So all deeds are actually done by? Okay. And who is that person who thinks I am the doer?
One who is bewildered by illusion.
Who is bewildered by? Illusion caused by?
Mode of ignorance and
No, cycle ban gaya. Okay?
False ego.
False ego, correct. Kids, very nice. So kids are very sharp now. Okay, you're sleeping that time. Okay. So in which chapter the first shloka itself God said this is the best of the knowledge? 14. 12?
The three.
Okay. And what is the name of that chapter?
The three modes of material nature.
Three modes of material nature. Okay. So mode of happiness binds you to?
Mode of goodness by
Mode of goodness binds you to?
Happiness.
Mode of passion binds you to?
Fruitive activities.
Fruitive action. And mode of ignorance binds you to?
madness.
Madness, illusion. Okay. Okay. I think now everybody has woken up very well. But kids are doing better now. Okay. So where do those people go who worship demigods?
Heavenly planets.
They go to the planets of those very demigods. Where do those people go who worship Pitralok? Where do those people go who worship ghosts and spirits?
They don't go anywhere. They don't go anywhere. They don't go anywhere.
They go to live among such beings. Okay, wherever they live.
But they'll not have a body.
There will be a lot of problems, so why go there? Okay? Any questions? You are good? So in the next class when we meet, we will ask these questions again. Okay? So thank you so much. My apologies if I have misinterpreted Prabhupada or scriptures in any way, because I am also a student like you, given the task of preparing and coming for the class. You have a question, Mataji?
I would like to summarize today and what I take home.
Sure, Mataji. That will be very nice actually. This will not go there. Mataji, can you come here? Because the wireless mic is not working. So Mataji wants to summarize today's class. Mataji taken very nice notes. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Mother. Today's gathering has been very special because it's like answering the questions and answering the questions to yourself. The answers which we need to find out, and the 6 questions which forms the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is also question to each one of us. And what I take home is I have a big homework to do.